You come in here, I'm pushing your ass.
What happens if I get injured?
You ain't getting injured.
Bro, you don't know that.
All right. I don't give a.
It's 1 second away from injury.
Everyone has wondered, why is it that you're not, at the parties, yachts flying around, all the vacations and parties and Super Bowl?
Everybody possesses. Question why you weren't yourself. I've seen yachts flying around at parties, every holiday celebration and Super Bowls. And the reason for that is prior injuries. Paul Jake should have fought better. Attempted to deceive quickly to avoid having to the Tyson. Hurricane, I'm not crazy, but this guy is angry with everything. Jake is the brightest thing. Paul is capable of when I assess Mike Tyson. Observe a powerhouse poised to destroy whatever stands in his way, and then there's the flamboyant YouTuber turned. Boxer Mike will turn 60 if you defeat him. That's bad, since you just defeated on an elderly guy, and if you fail to defeat him, that is equivalent to 2 negatives because an old man who was screwed up was unbeatable. If rumor has it that he is screwed if he doesn't, that the camp of Jake Paul made some dubious maneuvers to escape his future battle with Iron Mike. There are rumors circulating about the gyms, the combat courses that Jake's group attempted to use the outdated fate injury card. Don't get me wrong, you now believe it. Wounds are serious matters for someone who's been neglected more frequently than I can count. I am personally aware of how much they awful, but attempting to get away with it. Path from a meeting with the soul. Even for Mike Tyson, that's a risky decision. Jake Paul, what is the conclusion? Is Jake's ailment genuine, or is it a clever move to evade a beating from Iron Mike? The gossip trail intensified as information regarding Jake Paul began to pour in, with a hand that was heavily bandaged. But Jake posted more on Twitter than that. A rush of striking posts that had everyone chatting about Jake's tweets. One self-brimming with exaggerated comments on a bizarre training incident and the imminent risk of one even got the fight called off. Fans crying out as Jake bemoaned the doctor. Claims that I might not be able to defeat Iron Mike is just getting us ready to choke. Jake seemed to be going into a panic attack mode with the anxiety of taking on the champion. I just want to state how I feel. He will choke himself out of the battle. He gave up already. I misjudged him. The champ's workout routine that my body follows. Oh my, how rude. The sympathy card was undoubtedly at work, but it appears that Jake's attempt to evoke strong emotions backfired. Remarkably good for Jake Paul's chances, appearing more slender than a stick bug. Based on the conversation between fans and commentator Joe Rogan of the UFC, didn't rescind his comments on his show, stating, I don't care that he's 55. That's nevertheless Mike Tyson, and less not. Rafael Cordo, the secret weapon of Tyson. A legend in mixed martial arts, the Kings. When you saw Cordo clutching those artistic. For Tyson, the months are like witnessing. A man may create a symphony of destruction, but possess a force that will leave you observing. Stars using their eagle to box insiders. Drama-spotting eyes did not waste any time raising questions about Jake Paul's purported injury. Snorted one before seeing it all. Seasoned coach to a journalist these days. Teenage online celebrities believe they can trick. Everyone is familiar with the procedure. When times are bad, they figure out a way out, and if that wasn't sufficient to motivate you to an eyebrow. And here's Jake's remarkable comeback. Within a few days, following his social media updates regarding the harm, he went back to recording pranks and delivering blows on his channel on YouTube. Nevertheless, did it quell the doubters? Chance supporters observed the abrupt shift in hand wrap, after which the rumor mill overdrive when news reporters approach. Regarding the purported fraud Jake Paul, the smooth operator laughed forever and disregarded it with a small wink. Setback, he remarked.
Day 3, you still want to fuck with me?
This is fucking crazy. Mike Tyson has been back training for just over a week now, and he's moving like he's still in his prime. So we're gonna compare some new pad work from both him and Jake Paul. I want you to comment who you think looks better and who's going to win this fight. Wow. Now let's take a look at some of Jake Paul's recent training footage. Reminder that he is 27, which is 30 years younger than Mike. Is this fight dangerous for Jake Paul? I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments. And also hit that follow button. 7, what the fuck?
Now, Jake Paul's. Tyson's antics were like something to watch. Reports of a volcano that is about to erupt. Insiders presented a mythological picture. Warrior boiling with fury at what he regarded as a cunning and inconsiderate. Tried to escape from there extremely, expected to humiliate Tyson. Claimed that this child believes he can bomb. Play me like a violin, I'm not a simpleton. He can just trample Mike Tyson underfoot. Shared a shocking revelation on social media in an astounding demonstration of strength and speed. Iron Mike launched a barrage of blows. It would elevate even the most courageous souls. Start to perspire a lot, and if that wasn't sufficient to chill you to the bone, spine, just hold on until you hear his words. Have to mention that Tyson has a fixed gaze and discharges a bone into the lens. Spooky query to his rival, you're still interested in? __. With me, Tyson is trying to tell Crystal, clearly following the horrifying video do. You believe the troubled kid still desires a portion of the 57-year-old Mike legend. Tyson is nearer to becoming 60 than Jake is. Paul, who is 30, may not be in his athletic prime, but in all honesty, he's nevertheless has sufficient firepower to light the whole truth in the room. If Jake and Tyson entered the ring, Paul, it would be more than simply a contest. Would be the first ever show of fireworks. Total eradication with no inquiries. Recollect the moment Tyson faced Roy Jones Jr. in the matchup. They plotted, strategized, and danced for 8 rounds exhibiting abilities and elegant. But consider this in contrast to Jake Paul. The ball would be entirely different. Game we're discussing here is a whole no. Stops one shot. Devastation in just one of Tyson's. Rage unleashed, leaving only devastation behind it. Therefore, if you're believing that this would be a close contest, when it comes to speed, power, reconsider, and unadulterated fury, Tyson remains unquestionably the ring's king. And if Jake Paul believes he can compete with, the champion is going to have a rude waking up. Clips. You've really hit the mark, my friend. During this confrontation between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, the game is known as hard cash. Paul has been hinting at the intriguing possibility of winning $300 million, much like a Tyson's not one to pass up a carrot on a stick. Decline a large salary, particularly if it entails shattering records for pay-per-view. Undoubtedly, Mike Tyson has experienced his sufficient amount of ups and downs in finances. Overtime from extravagant expenditures. Frenzy to fight Tyson's bank in court. Account has had a good amount of coaster ride, and let's be honest, with obligations due soon. Big in expenses to cover Tyson's not rolling in D these days, exactly a astounding $600 million expenditure wasted. Like streamers at a crazy celebration, Tyson's spending patterns were the basis for legends he would buy, but not in a positive way. He never went inside homes or cars. Never gave driving a damn. He would forget about the vehicles he had before the cops, knocked after his entourage received. Stopped in them, if Tyson desired to. To show off his wealth, he would enter a BMW or Mercedes-Benz store and purchase the whole showroom only to be able to. Devastation in just one of Tyson's. Rage unleashed, leaving only devastation behind it. Therefore, if you're believing that this would be a close contest, when it comes to speed, power, reconsider, and unadulterated fury, Tyson remains unquestionably the ring's king. And if Jake Paul believes he can compete with, the champion is going to have a rude waking up.